This is the Honda Harmony HRM 215. I honestly haven't done much research about these. Usually I do a bunch of research on each mower I get. Like the Sprint mower I have in there, the Sprint Briggs, and the Quantum I just showed. But this I really haven't had any interest in. It's neat, you know. I'm going to give a review on it. And a lot of you might be surprised what I have to say about it because it definitely surprised me. Not too sure if the Honda Harmony HRM 215 is a 215cc motor. If it is, I think that brings it to about a 6 horsepower engine or a 5 horsepower engine, around there. But I'm not too sure. Like I said, I haven't done much research on this. Everything I'm going to tell you in the review is me from working on it to mowing with it. That's it. Which is what most consumers pretty much do. They mow and work on it. Pretty much where I'm going to start off with this mower is I'm trying to think if I should start with the pros or the cons, because there's more cons than there are pros. First con is this. That's where your oil comes out, and there's not really a hole for it to drain. I don't know if that hole right there is where it's supposed to go, and if it is, that's stupid because it's not right over the hole. All the oil is going to go all over the place, all in this plastic, and make a big mess. Legit, for you to change the oil yourself, you have to tip this mower on have to pick up both sides of the wheels, tip it on its side, and actually pour the oil out. Pretty similar to a no oil change needed mower. You pretty much need to change the oil by tipping it over. Briggs makes these motors, and so does Kohler, where you don't have to supposedly change the oil. And to me, that's a bunch of crap. I mean, I would never trust something like that. Maybe I'll do a video where I actually get a mower like that. I actually won't change the oil, see how long it lasts. I'm sure it will last a good 2-3 years, and then eventually you're going to start having issues. Another con is I hate these metal wheel adjusters. They not metal, I don't know, this is the way they're shaped. When you try to push them and adjust them, you got to really manhandle them, and you almost kind of bend them. This could be because it's an older mower too. It could be, you know, maybe factory when I first got on this was a breeze. You know, this wasn't that hard to do. This is just over time, over years, something that I've noticed. Maybe check this if you're going to buy one. But really a pain in the butt. The front ones, easy, no problem. The front ones, no problemo, for the most part. Well, with one-handed it might be a problemo. Yeah, one-handed it's a problemo, but I'm also not the strongest guy in the world, so. But these really aren't that hard. Next, I don't want to make a whole video on just cons. I should do one pro and one con, one pro and one con. I guess a pro is it is a plastic deck. You're not going to have this problem rusting out, stuff like that. Obviously the motor is going to die before the deck. However, I will say I had a teacher that had one of these decks, and actually over time, I'm guessing he didn't, I mean, I'm just guessing, this is just a guess, is this one had a loose wheel, and nobody was tightening this, and I could see over time, because of being loose, it gets looser and looser and looser, and that bolt's like this long. Eventually it's going to start shifting and, you know, flexing the plastic. And his actual wheel, like from the actual bracket that holds it on, actually snapped, and there was a huge plastic hole which he couldn't fix. Pretty much the deck was garbage after. But other than that, I haven't seen any issues with these things, man. They're pretty solid. No rust, which is a pro. Something I've noticed with these plastic decks, though, is they're a lot louder than the metal decks. Actually, you don't even have to hit stone. I've hit like sticks and stuff, and they make huge bunch of noise with this deck. Huge noise. And then stone's even worse compared to a metal deck, which it is noisy, but it isn't as noisy as this. I don't know if that's just, I know for a fact it's noisier. I can just tell a difference if this is just noisy. Another con, I guess, is the actual engine itself. Now, I'm going to say that this might be just because of the age. I hope not. I don't want to say that because I have the old Briggs, all the old Briggs and Stratton engines, and even some old Tecumsehs, and they don't really bog down super much with taller grass. Not even, and the grass that I was cutting with this today wasn't even that tall. It was maybe 3 inches tall, 4 inches tall. Not super tall grass in my opinion. And this thing was fighting. I mean, it was definitely bogging down more than I would expect it to. I mean, it still cut it, and it still did its job. It just seemed like a lot of like oomph it had to give, which is a lot of wear on the engine. Changed the spark plug. This whole thing has a new tune-up on it. New oil, new plug, new air filter. I cleaned up the carb with not actually cleaning it out, like taking it apart, cleaning it out. I just put some carb cleaner in it and some seafoam and ran it a few times. To me, that's, you know, doing the same thing. Well, not totally the same thing, but that is helping get some of that crap out of there. Even though when I bought this thing, it ran. There was no issues with it. The only thing I really had to fix on it was the self-propelled. So I will say another pro is the self-propel. The self-propel on this is very, very smooth. Very good pace. It does well up hills. For a large yard, this would be a perfect lawnmower, as long as you don't allow it to get too tall of grass. Perfect for hills and stuff like that. This one has the 3 speeds. Unfortunately, the speeds don't work, so this is stuck at... Luckily, I'm pretty sure this is stuck at 3 speeds. If this goes any faster than it already does, man, that's a fast little mower. But self-propelled, I have no complaints on. There is a little bit of an issue I was having with the self-propelled, but I think that is because of the spring I had to put on it is not adjusted right. So I think that's a me thing. I don't think that's actually the mower itself. Trying to be perfectly fair for this mower. I'm going to show you the lines that it cut. I legit just use this mower. I'm trying to think of anything else to bring up on it. Another thing I don't like about this mower, I'm going to do another con, is maintenance. I feel like maintenance on this mower, it would be a headache. Besides the spark plug and the air filter, everything else you got to do, changing the belt, changing cables, all that stuff, it's just kind of a pain in the butt. And that's just my opinion. Maybe that's just because, actually, I don't even think, I mean, that is my opinion, but I really think it is a pain in the butt more than it should be, because you actually have to take off pieces of this plastic shroud to get to it. It's not very accessible. You have to take it apart, and then there's actually a bolt on here that they will not allow you to take off, because this is some steel here that is attached, and I believe it is, I don't know if it's tack welded on, but it's really hard to get off. So Honda really didn't want you to work on this mower. They really wanted you to take it to a dealer or a service place and have them actually service the mower itself, which I think is kind of, but you know, they got to do what they got to do to survive. I'm not bashing Honda. This is legit just a review on the Harmony HRM 215. This is the SDA model or submodel or whatever. So yeah, there are some Honda mowers that I actually do enjoy. A lot of the older stuff. Overhead valve engines from them are really decent. So this is not a bad motor. I really think the bogging down thing is just either maybe a throttle issue or something like that. But I really don't think the throttle is all that messed up. I could not see this running any higher than it already does for RPM. So I don't know. This is the first Harmony I've ever really seen done or anything. Maybe if I get another one and I can compare it to the old one, sure. But yeah. If this had a bagger with it, which this one personally doesn't, but I think if I had a bagger with it and you bagged it, the motor would do a lot better. I think this is a really good bagger mower, because then all that grass, it doesn't have to fight through all the grass. Plus the blades on here, to be fair, are used and they're not sharpened. They're pretty, I don't want to say they're hammered, but they're pretty hammered. Which brings me to the next part, is the blades. I like the double blades design. I think it's a good design because it really does bring up that grass. Kind of straightens it out, or it kind of kicks stuff up. I've noticed there's a lot of stuff on the ground that normally like my Briggs wouldn't hit, and this actually really does bring anything underneath this, brings it kind of up for it to cut. So, and I'm not complaining about that. I think that's a very decent design, and I noticed in the backyard when we did the mowing that my grass, when I cut it with it, looked different, and not necessarily in a bad way, not necessarily in a good way. I haven't really figured out how I felt about it yet, but there is definitely a different kind of quality cut with this mower. But that's really it, man. I'm not an expert. This is just how I feel about using it. I've mowed with it, mowed the front and the back with it. Didn't do much with the front because my grass in the front yard isn't really growing that great. But yeah, decent little mower, man. So this is my thought. We're gonna go in the backyard, check out the quality of the cut, but that's about it. So I hope you enjoy. Like, subscribe. Please feel free to give me any comments on your Honda Harmony, what you think about them, and if there's any mower in particular you want me to review in the future. I really am just trying to do whatever I get my hands on, I'm going to do a review on. So, and I usually, if I do a review on it, it usually means, for sure it means that I am mowing. I've mowed with it, I've done service on it, I've done the work on it, and just giving my thoughts on it. So, and usually when I do work on them, it usually means the max stuff I really do is carb cleanings. The Quantum, I did take the exhaust off and clean the exhaust board out, stuff like that, but really basic maintenance stuff that anybody can do. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm not super tech savvy with engines. I know some stuff about them, but yeah. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching this part of the review. Here's the cut. You can see there's some lines there for sure. This really is a different kind of cut in my eyes. My Briggs, any of the Briggs I use, even the lawn boy I use, my 2-cycle lawn boy, doesn't cut like this. This is very, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, guys. I really don't. I know it sounds kind of stupid. I'm sure some of you are like, I don't notice any difference. Looks like a yard that you cut. But I don't know. I don't know if it's because all I've used really is, I've never used the dual blade design like that ever. But I don't know. It just looks different to me. I don't really know. Maybe because it's shorter, it's all together, it's more even. I don't know. I don't really know, man. But yeah, this is it. This is the cut quality. So, write a comment, like I said, if you really think there's any difference. Maybe I'll do a video if I still have the Briggs and Harmony, and when we get the grass tall enough, we'll put them side by side. We'll mow one patch with the Harmony, and then one side with the Briggs. I'm sure any Briggs would do. It does. They're all pretty much the same. I'll probably use my Quantum that I have in there. That's what I normally use. If I want to get real crazy, get my lawn boy out here, the Briggs and the Honda, and do a stripe and see how they look. The lawn boy I have is commercial, so, and I honestly don't think the lawn boy commercial does a good job, but I don't think it cuts just like this. But that's my opinion. So, like, subscribe. I think the next review we're going to do is for a Briggs & Stratton 3.75 or 3 1/4 or 3 1/2, I don't know. Briggs & Stratton Sprint. But I'm looking to put a blade on it. I need to put a blade on it before I can do that. But yeah, I'll see you guys later.